y'all, welcome back to this week's video. This week I'm going to be making some delicious appetizers. We're going to start out by making some salt and vinegar wings. These are really good. If you love salt and vinegar anything, you're going to love these. They're so easy to make. The longest time is waiting for them to marinate. So that's what we're going to start on. So we are going to make our marinade. In here I've got some vinegar, just some plain white vinegar. To that I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of malt vinegar. If you don't like malt vinegar, you can substitute with apple cider vinegar. And now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flaky salt. Also, I'm going to add some garlic powder, ranch powder, and a little bit of sugar. I will leave the link to this recipe down in the description box below so you can get all of the measurements. So we're just going to add all of that in there. And we're going to whisk this up until this salt is fully dissolved. Should take a minute or two. Okay, so this is fully mixed together and both the salt and the sugar are dissolved. And I've got some chicken wings here. Now if you're making more than 2 pounds, you can double this. But I'm going to pour half of this marinade onto the chicken here. Leave the other half for later. And that should be good. And I'm just going to toss these together. Get some tongs. Make sure these are all nice and coated in that marinade. And we're going to put the lid on this, or you can cover it with plastic. And we're going to let this sit and marinate for about 3 hours. In the meantime, we'll make our dip. Alright, while the chicken is marinating, it's almost done marinating, we're going to go ahead and start on our pepper jelly dip. Now you can eat this plain, or you can put this in the oven, which I'm going to do today, but it's very simple. It works both ways if you're going to eat it one way or the other. So I've got 1 block of cream cheese, and here I've got some pineapple, can't see it, some pineapple habanero. You can do any kind of pepper jelly that you want. You can also do marmalade, orange marmalade, or pineapple marmalade. You can do apricot preserves. Whatever kind of marmalade or jam that you like, you can put that on here. So I'm just going to add this entire container right on the top. And we're going to kind of smooth this out and over. Now, if no one in your family likes spicy food, I would suggest doing something like orange marmalade or apricot preserves. Those are really good, and I've made those before. Works really well. So, at this point, it is pretty much done. As long as your cream cheese is softened, you're pretty much done, and you can go ahead and eat this. However, I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven for about 5 to 6 minutes just to warm that cream cheese up and kind of melt that pepper jelly a little bit. It's going to be delicious. 350, we'll do 4 to 6 minutes. Alright, you guys, so these have been marinating for 3 hours, and they are almost ready to go into the air fryer. Before I put them in the air fryer, we're going to coat them with some baking powder and some salt. Do not use baking soda. Make sure it's baking powder. So I'm just going to give this a little mix. And we're going to sprinkle this over. Now, I did go ahead and drain the marinade off the chicken and patted it dry and then put it right back into this bowl. And now all we're going to do is toss this to coat. And we're just going to set this to the side. I'm going to preheat my air fryer. It tells you to do this in the oven, but you can do either or. I'm going to preheat this for 360 degrees. And we're going to cook this for about 16 to 18 minutes, shaking halfway through. So we're going to go ahead and add this in here. Grab some tongs. And you might have to do this in batches. So we're just going to lay all of these in here. And we're going to bake these or air fry these 360 for 16 to 18 minutes until they are completely cooked through. And then we will take them out and put in another batch until they are all cooked. So in the air fryer it goes, and we're going to let those do its thing. Alright, so these are done. I checked the temperature. They are up to temperature, so I'm just going to remove these to a bowl and set these to the side while we work on our second batch. And then we will get these tossed in the remaining sauce, and these will be done. And that red pepper jelly dip over there is absolutely delicious. I've been munching on it. Definitely a must try. So I'm going to go ahead and get the second batch on, and then I'll show you everything when it gets done. Alright, y'all, so these have cooked. They are all cooked completely through. I checked the temperature. They're good to go. So I've got the remaining sauce that I did not use earlier, and all we're going to do is add this to our chicken wings and give this a nice little toss. Whew, that is quite potent when you put that vinegar on hot chicken wings. So just be careful. It is sinus clearing. So we're just going to give this a toss, and then I'm going to put these on a platter. And then these will be ready to go. Alright, y'all, here are the chicken wings. They look and smell delicious. Now you can serve this with whatever you want. I'm going to make a side to go with this, probably some green beans, just to make it a meal. But if you are serving this for an appetizer, anything that you serve these with will be absolutely delicious.
Alright, you guys, here are these delicious chicken wings. Now, if you like anything that is salt and vinegar flavored, you're going to love these. Now, they're not overwhelmingly flavored with the salt and vinegar, but it's just the right amount, and they are so delicious and so tender. You're going to love them. And this pepper jelly dip, so simple, but so delicious. We devoured both of these. They are so good and so easy, perfect for any game day or family get together.
Today I'm going to be making some delicious dill pickle dip. Now I love dips of all kinds, especially like with gatherings or football games or anything like that. They're just so easy to make. They're very versatile. You can make them in all different shapes and forms, and they're all delicious. So like I said, I'm going to be making a dill pickle dip. Now I am not a big fan of dill pickles. I do like some brands, and like if they're on a burger, I don't mind them. So if you don't like dill pickles, you're going to like this. It's really easy. It's really good. So I've got some cream cheese here, and it's at room temperature, and we're just going to plop that right down in there. And to that, I'm going to add some finely diced dill pickles, some finely diced onion. I'm using a regular sweet onion, and we're just going to put that right in there, as well as 1 teaspoon of dill and some pickle juice. We're going to season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper, season to taste. Alright, now if you want this spicy dill pickle, just go ahead and add a little bit of hot sauce, your favorite kind of hot sauce, to your taste, and then just mix all of this up. After we get all this mixed up, we're going to put some plastic wrap on this, pop this in the fridge for a while, and let all of these flavors kind of marry together. It's going to be delicious. Now, if you like hot dips, you can mix this up and pop this in a oven-safe dish and put this in the oven at 350 for about 5 to 6 minutes just to get it warmed through, and it will be delicious. All right, so that is nice and mixed through. I'm going to go ahead, put some plastic wrap on this, pop this in the fridge, and this will be ready. All right, y'all, now we're going to make some delicious baked potato bites. These are so good. They're very easy. I went ahead and sprayed my sheet pan, put some parchment paper down, and I seasoned one side. I sprayed a little bit of oil, salt, and pepper. So we're going to go ahead and do the other side. So just spray or drizzle some oil on your potatoes and season them up with some salt and pepper, and preheat your oven to 375 degrees because we are going to bake these potatoes first before we add any of the toppings and put them back in the oven. All right, so that is good. My oven is preheated. I'm going to put these in the oven for about 25 minutes. I'm going to come in and flip them halfway through, so that way they get evenly cooked and brown on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and finish this up. All right, these have been cooking for 12 minutes. I've got some bacon grease here. Now you can cook some bacon because you're going to need it later, or you can use the prepackaged crumbled bacon that I'm going to do. But I always keep bacon grease in the fridge. There's not a Southern kitchen in the South that you cannot go to find bacon grease. But if you don't have any, just cook up some bacon. We're going to pat some of this bacon grease all over the top of these potatoes. And we're going to flip these over and let them cook for another 12 to 15 minutes until they are cooked completely through. And then we will add our toppings, put them back in the oven. These are so good, especially with this bacon grease. Delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these over, put them back in the oven for another 12 to 15 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. All right, y'all, so I took these out. They are nice and tender. They're cooked completely through. I already tested them. I turned my oven down to 350, and we're going to top these with some more bacon grease because it's going to give it a ton more flavor. It's got that nice smoky, salty flavor. It's really, really good. Okay, that is good to go. Now we're going to top them with some Italian seasoning. Now when I say Italian seasoning, this is what I mean, but you can use whatever you want. This to me is Italian seasoning, herbs de Provence. It's really good, and depending on what company makes it, there's lavender in there too. But we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit right on top of the potatoes. Make sure you get all of the potatoes nice and seasoned up with that Italian seasoning. And now we are going to go in and add some bacon. Like I said, you can make your own bacon and then just chop it up. But I'm going to go ahead and use some prepackaged bacon because I have it and we need to use it. So I'm just going to add some of that right on top of these potatoes. You can add as much or as little as you want because we're going to go in with some cheese as well. You can also add some hot sauce to this if you want it spicy. If you can't tell, I love spicy food. It's just good. So I add hot sauce to everything. All right, now that we've got all of our potatoes nice and coated with some bacon bits, we are going to go in and add some cheese. I just got some shredded cheddar cheese. Again, you can add as much or as little as you want. And we're just going to add some of that right on top. Okay, the last of the cheese going on. Now we are going to put this back in the oven for about 5 minutes, just until this cheese gets all nice and melty, and then these will be done. All right, y'all, these have been cooking for about 5 minutes, and the cheese is all nice and melted. Now I'm going to let these cool. I'm going to turn my stove off. I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes, and then I'm going to top them with whatever you want. You can do sour cream, green onion, you can do hot sauce, more bacon bits, more cheese, whatever you want. So I'm just going to let these hang out here, cool just slightly, and then I'll show you what they look like when I get them all jazzed up.
Alright, y'all, here are these potatoes. These turned out so good. If you like a fully loaded baked potato, you're gonna love these. These are perfect for get-togethers and game days. I love serving these on game days. They're just easy. I just topped them with a sour cream, some green onions, topped the pickle dip with some green onions, served those with some crackers, and you guys, this was so delicious. You're gonna love these recipes, I promise.
All right, y'all. Today I'm going to be making something that I thought looked just so good. We're going to be making hamburger tacos. We're going to start out with making our meat portion. I've got these little taco stands here. They've got the 3 side and then the 4 side. We're going to use those later. I've also got some cheese here. You can use whatever kind of cheese that you want and whatever kind of spices that you like on your burgers. So I'm going to go ahead and season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm also going to add a little bit of this onion butter. This is so good. I got this in the barbecue section in Walmart, but you can check the spice section in your local grocery store. This is really good. Just add as much or as little as you want. And as always, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder. And I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce, just for a little extra flavor, but not much. Probably about 1.5 teaspoons. And now we're just going to mix this together. And this smells so good, and it's not even done yet. That Worcestershire sauce, it just adds a ton of flavor to whatever you put it in. Alright, so I'm going to give my hands a rinse. I'm going to clean up just a second, get some more room going, and then we'll move on and I'll show you the next step. Alright, you guys, so I've got some little street tacos here. They look more like steaks, but it'll be fine. So you're going to take these. I just heated them up a little bit on the stove, and you're going to take a little bit of your meat, and you're going to spread this all over and kind of like a little thin layer all over. Leave a little border on the egg, and once you get it done like this, we're going to move on over to the stove. Alright, so I've got my little flat pan here. If you don't have a little flat pan, a skillet will work just fine. I've got it over medium heat. I'm going to turn it down to medium low because I don't want it to be too hot, because cast iron gets pretty hot. So I've got my 2 little hamburger tacos here, and I'm just going to put these face down onto the skillet like so. And we're going to let these cook until it is cooked completely through. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes. We'll flip them over, add some cheese, and then we will put them in this little container here on a little plate while we fix the remaining. You want to put them on here or something similar to this so it kind of holds its shape. And you can top these with whatever is your favorite hamburger topping. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will show you what they look like when I flip them over, and then everything will be done. Alright guys, so these have been cooking and they are cooked completely through, so I'm going to flip them over. I'm going to add my cheese. I'm going to do half cheese, half without, and I'm going to just let that sit there a minute. I'm going to turn my heat down just slightly because it's starting to smoke because of that tortilla. And once this melts, I'm going to add it to my little container here and move on with the next one. And then I will show you what they look like when I get them all jazzed up and looking pretty.
Alright, y'all, so here are these tacos, these hamburger tacos. These were really, really good, super easy to make, and I just topped them with ketchup, mustard, some lettuce, onion, tomato. You can top them with whatever is your favorite hamburger toppings, and they are so good, perfect for game days or get-togethers. Like I said, all of these recipes are perfect for game days. With some leftover potatoes that we had yesterday. Great kind of finger foods to have. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I tell you what, this microphone situation it's irked my last nerve. But anyways, I digress. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.